Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gfinity Summer Masters, a Call of Duty World League Challenge Division event. My name is Bryce. Joining me this time to bring you the action from our next game, I've got Jonas and Rel, and they're very short.
We are.
Always.
We don't get any taller, Bryce.
No,
I know, that's disappointing me.
We might try. At this point, it's giving us so much trouble, I might try to get taller.
I feel like, yeah, there we go. If you both get on there, I feel like I should just get you a step or something. Because always, all I see on the preview monitor is just me looking over the pair of you.
Checklist for the next event. Let's make sure we have a stage for Rel and I right next to you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, don't worry. For what they lack in height, they make up for in Call of Duty knowledge. Mostly.
No.
So the next game we do have coming up is going to be Exertus versus Splyce. And guys, just kind of get your initial feelings on this game. Any gut feelings you got?
Well, gut feeling.
Yeah.
We have seen a great performance from Exertus beating Infused. I wouldn't be surprised if they took this one, even though I think Splyce going there heavily favorite.
Okay, Rel?
Similar sort of thing. I mean, Splyce for me are the stronger team. I wouldn't say they've shown that at this event, though. Just based on this event alone, I'd say Exertus are looking better, but based on previous, what they've achieved, Splyce are stronger, so.
Which one would you go for?
Splyce.
Okay. Well, we'll get to your full predictions after we've discussed and mulled it over. But let's take a look at Splyce, actually, and see what this team is made of. Rated Josh, Joe, and Bance. Rel, take me through this team.
So, I mean, you saw it on the preview there. Josh has really started to heat up in his slaying department. Grins all around here, but yeah, Josh has been performing extremely well so far in this event. We've got Joe playing heavy objective, Bance, a massive slayer for the team, and rated that probably one of the most confident people you will ever meet coming into a LAN event. Genuinely feels is the best player in the world, and you know, he's trying to show that here at Gfinity.
You say that with a bit of a laugh. Do you not believe him?
I wouldn't say he's the best player in the world, but he's a very good player.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's a good player. He's definitely shown some good things this year.
Yep.
He's been able to play with a good variety of ARs as well. I think that's something that comes in mind when I talk about him, especially that HVK that he loves.
Certainly does. Well, let's take a little look at their opponents then. This is Exertus. Desire, Vortex, Dave, and Hawkeye. And they have impressed this event, and they have looked very, very strong, making a strong case as to why they believe they deserve to be at Season 2 finals. Fortunately, they're not, but they are in our first semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, Hawkeye is, if you look at the stats and stuff, he's coming out on top. He's been one of the shining stars of this event on the whole. Just from generally watching Exertus play, I mean, Dave was putting up ridiculous figures. I think he went 9-0 in a search and destroy when we were watching earlier. So I think they're going to be the two key plays to watch for me from Exertus.
And if you are Exertus, I mean, you're top 4. You've got to feel pretty happy about it. Now, you've got nothing to lose. Obviously, you always want to do better, but the pressure is going to be on Splyce. They are the ones that need to perform. Vortex and Oki actually from the Splyce lineup from Season 1, so definitely know how to play the game. And they will actually play the game pretty much like Josh taught them.
Yeah, I think so. And Josh was saying it's going to be a hard game. Obviously, you know, these are some of his ex-teammates involved, and you're kind of wondering, you know, which way this is going to go, because Josh, you know, he kind of helped mold these players, and they are playing so well this event.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've impressed. A very nice victory against Infused. Now going into this game, you know, it's once again going to be about this aggression. And when it comes to this aggression, especially in the Hardpoint, I feel Exertus is really a team that impressed me. They're always on to you. Every single player. And someone that has actually impressed me a lot this event, and I didn't know that well, is Desire. He hasn't been in the scene for too long, at least not to the top level, and he's been playing extremely well.
I think one person who's impressed me is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He simply has been superb. He's got to be at least a key factor in the reason Exertus have looked so strong and looked so powerful at this event.
Yeah.
To the point where this is the first real benchmark for me. What do they do versus Splyce? And I think, you know, if they beat Splyce, you'll be sitting there going, that is incredible. And one of the key things we've got to look at now is the player matchup. One of them is Hawkeye. And here's an interesting fact. Overall rating, 1.38. Slayer rating, 1.48. Kill death difference, plus 93. Hawkeye is leading in every single category there, not just against Bance, but against everybody attending the event.
Just one little thing to keep in mind. The first game was against Y6. We know that went down. The Hardpoint probably helped the stats. Regardless, Afterwards, they played Infused. So it's definitely a stand-up performance from Oki. Not really too much of a surprise to me to see him playing so well. I thought he was extremely influential in playing very well in Season 1 with Splyce, and definitely a good factor. So it's good to see him keeping on stepping up with another team.
Yeah, but I mean, plus 93 kill death spread is unreal. I mean, it's not like he's just averaging about 10 up throughout the event. He's just smashing everyone that he's going up against.
He certainly is. And of course, the player they're going against, Bance. Now, Bance is a player that's automatically gained a lot of followers. Kind of a new blood as well come through. And people are like, you know, Bance is impressive. He has certainly impressed a few people. I think it's telling that Josh kept him with him when they did that team change.
Yeah, and it shows. I mean, when we go back to the previous tournaments, when Splyce has been playing so well, Bance has always been delivering the numbers, even in clutch situation when he has a bad map. You know, if he's in a very tough situation, he's going to deliver. What I really like about Bance is his ability to play really well, whether it's an SMG or an AR.
I mean, the first time I came across Bance, he was teaming with Rez, and Rez ended up getting some good placements. So that's, hey, no doubt down to Bance.
Well, now that's changed my mind. Bance is clearly the best player in the world. That's incredible to get Rez a good placement. Anyway, let's get into a little bit of a meaty subject for me, the vetoes. We do have vetoes at this event, first time in Black Ops 3, and here they are. We're going to kind of break them down for us, and I'll explain to you how this has all gone about. So, the higher team in each group will get first pick. So that's going to be Exertus in this case, on the left. So they ban out Breach. Splyce banned out Evac. Oh no, it's gone the other way, sorry, my mistake. Splyce banned out Evac first, then Exertus banned out Breach, and then Splyce picked Fringe. So that's their first map. Do you think it really benefits them?
Yeah, I think it really works in Splyce's favor. Evac, definitely a map you don't want to play. I think it's their weak map, but also a map that Exertus would do really well on. Now, Fringe is going to be about those ARs. Desire really good AR, as we said, but I feel like they're lacking a strong second AR.
I like the Breach ban for Exertus. Still really surprised I didn't play that earlier. Then we get on to the Search and Destroy. Infection was picked. That was Exertus. The bans Evac and Fringe.
Yeah, and I mean, last time we saw Splyce doing the pick and bans on the veto side of things, they banned Evac 3 times, I believe. So Splyce do not like playing Evac in general, regardless of what the game mode is.
Yep.
And apparently, Exertus do not like Breach.
Well, you know what? Yeah. Each team to their own. Sometimes, you know, these teams, they just can't get a handle on the map, no matter how much they practice. Moving on, the Uplink, we are going to be playing Infection up in the second one in a row. And you can see there, Fringe came in first, then Breach, and then Infection was picked. And I think that's the first Infection Uplink we're going to see this tournament.
Yeah, and once again, I do think this is going to benefit Splyce. This is just one of the map where it's all about the setup, it's all about those ARs, and when it comes to those games, Exertus is not going to be able to play their playstyle. They're going to have to mold around what Splyce want to do. And definitely the upper end on Splyce going into Uplink in general, but with a great map, I think this is definitely one Splyce should win.
Then we move on to the Capture the Flag. We're going to see Evac this time around. Stronghold and Breach actually taken out. And I wonder if that was a play by Splyce trying to get them to pick Fringe, but it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the actual pick of Evac by Exertus is quite clever because, as we said before, they know that generally Splyce don't like playing it regardless of what the game mode is, so they're targeting the weakness.
I don't know if I agree with the ban of Stronghold from Splyce. It could be a mind game, as you said.
I don't feel like Exertus would have picked it.
Yeah, I think if they played Stronghold, then that would have been beneficial to them.
Well, they will play Stronghold last of all. Here are your maps for this then. Fringe, Hardpoint, Infection, Search and Destroy, Infection, Uplink, Evac, Capture the Flag, and Stronghold, Search and Destroy. And now the ban and protect is going to start. Man of War ripped away by Vortex, but that M8 is here to stay.
Yeah, and that M8 definitely going to be a good weapon. I do like the Man of War ban, definitely targeted at the likes of Rated, even Josh being able to play so well with it in Vents. So a weapon that is really good to take away from Splyce. I wonder who banned Stock. I do believe
it was Bance. It was Bance. Bance took it away. It's an Exertus pick.
And that's gonna slow down the.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that was coming, right? We've spoken in this tournament so far how some of these elite level teams, they're quite happy to take away stock. They're fine taking it away. They believe they can still work a little bit better. They believe their aiming's a little bit better, so they don't need to strafe quite as much. So that's, you know, I like the fact that that's a double kind of protect and then a quick ban afterwards to make sure it disappears. It does leave Rated under the gun, though. Rated has one more to go, and looks like Rated missed it.
So I wonder whether something happens or this is a mind game, just saying, you know what? I don't really care what you do.
Well, I'm a little bit confused because, I mean, both Tacticals made it through.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Semtex made it through.
Tatmask is going to have to feature heavily here. I was kind of waiting for one of those to be picked up, but just wasn't the case.
Well, considering we've still got Semtex in, Frag in, both Tacticals, do you think there's going to be a trophy-heavy map now?
Could be, and you know, when Afterburner is in, so they definitely, you know, it's costly to use both Afterburner and Flak Jacket, so I do believe that trophies are gonna have their importance. Whether players choose to maybe run double frags and double Semtex, something that we've seen throughout the tournament, that'd be very interesting to see. You know, going into a Hardpoint, if someone doesn't have a trophy or doesn't have a Flak Jacket, then that can be very influential. And some EMP, someone running EMPs and some others running double Semtex could actually work really well.
I know what you're thinking, right? I know what you're thinking. I know what everybody at home is thinking. They're thinking, Rated didn't miss that. That was a technical error. No, it wasn't. Rated, I got confirmation, the admins into my ear hole has said Rated missed his ban. He actually missed it. He did nothing else happen. He missed it. Yeah. So is that a missed opportunity? That's the first time we've seen a pro actually end up missing it.
I was thinking to myself, we are definitely one short, right? I was like, I'm pretty sure that.
Thanks for that, Ralph.
There's my input. But no.
How can this happen?
That's one of the first times I've ever seen that happen, actually. But I mean. Thinking of the options to go, I mean, you could have taken out Concussion or Flashbang, but then there's either going to be one or the other still remaining there. So
yeah, but still, you'd probably want to ban Concussion.
I'm wondering what was going through his head. I'm wondering.
That's kind of like
maybe he didn't know.
Worried.
Maybe they were like, you know, well, we don't really need anything. Like I said, you ban one, technically still will have the other. You ban a lethal, maybe that's what you should have done. Ban a lethal, but it depends if they want it or not.
Maybe he's so relaxed, maybe he's so confident, and we're talking Rated, right?
Yeah.
One of the most confident players in the scene. Probably was on his phone playing a game, just chilling before the game. I wouldn't even be surprised.
That's what I was checking. I actually looked down to the booth and they all seemed, you know, perfectly fine. They were like, you know, we're good. They're all just concentrating on what's going on. Just want to quickly point out as well, the draft did come in. And it is going to be a mirror matchup, Active Camo, Heatwave, Tempest, and Kinetic Armor for both teams. So no real advantage actually coming out there.
Yeah, except that, you know, this Tempest in the ends of Rated always scares me. He's been playing so well with it and never really missing a bullet. I think if he can set up himself in a very good situation with this Tempest, he can be extremely influential.
All right, well, really quickly, it's time for the predictions. Rel, hit me with a name.
Splyce to win 3-1.
Okay, Jonas?
All right, let me take a gamble. I've done it before. Exertus 3-2.
Okay, I'm going to take Splyce as well. I'm going to join Rel here. I'm going to go against Jonas. But I think it's time to get this one underway. I'm going to hand it over to our wonderful casters now to kick this off. Momo, Teep, please take it away.
Here we go, guys. The first semi-final of the Gfinity Summer Masters about to start up. We have Fringe, Hardpoint. We have Splyce and Exertus, two of the top European teams. Momo, what's your expectation for this one, buddy?
Well, first things first, I think this heavily favors Splyce. Assault rifle dominated. Exertus, I've just had a quick flick through beforehand. 3 SMGs for them, only 1 AR. Splyce, however, they've got the 2-2 split, and so far, Josh will be taking command of this top red. Already 2 players falling for Exertus. Make it the third, and we're going to see Splyce get off to, I was going to say a good stop, but no one has hopped on the hard point.
Yeah, really weird to get 3 kills and no one risking their lives at all, trying to get some of this intro time here at the scrappy one at middle. Finally, we see it do go red into Exertus' favor, but lots of scrappy gunfights going down. A great job for the player in the hill, staying down towards that brick window, but Rated is here. Gunfights going down, 2 from Joe, and there is the 4 dead. Hopefully he can get some time this time around after these kills. The rotation does seem to be going down from Exertus, though.
Yeah, interesting play from Desire here. He is the anchor, if you like, of this team, and you see picking his shots wisely. Not cleaned up on that second player, but Semtex coming in. He's gonna slap another magazine in that weapon, and he's gonna be flanked by 2 players. Mate out, take down 1. He does so. But now, I'm just a bit confused. Splyce, for me, they didn't really seem like they were even pushing to gain any points on that middle one. Yeah,
very strange to only see that many kills go down and only 4 points apiece in that one. But overall, the rotation went in Exertus' favor, but Bance says, sit down, Vortex. Good gunfight from him, sliding in, able to get some of this intro time, and you expected Exertus to open up with intro time, but Splyce able to break so fast after spawning at the Peaches.
Okay, so we're kind of halfway through the second hard point, and the team with the highest score is only on 20 points. Kind of unbelievable to think. But Splyce have got control. Bance is on a 4 streak. Joe on a 2. He's going to extend that to a 5. Bance, no, turns and burns. There's a 6th, the 7th comes in. He's 25 away from the Cerberus team.
Bance, that was unbelievable plays from him. He also is 25 away from the Serb, and Kinetic going to be coming up soon as well. Going to be very, very huge on the rotation. Gets the assist. The Serber is very early for him. The rotation fight's going down. Joe trying to handle business, has rated to help. Great gameplay from Splyce, not focusing too much on that second hill, giving up the scrap because Granny is so important. If you hold this one, a fat 60-point lead coming your way.
Yeah, and I'm going back on board with Bance because nothing seems to stop him at the moment. He's just picked up another 2 kills. He's 10-5. He's tearing them apart. And, you know, this guy is new to kind of the top tier of the Call of Duty. He's only been here about a year, and he just seems so confident in these semi-finals, going into the grand finals if that's a possibility for him. But my goodness, he's just on a tear. He's on another 4-kill streak.
Joe and Bance completely taking over with these submachine guns. The setup is so deadly. You see, even if you get taken out, you spawn so close again to the hill. Josh rated, trying to help each other out over towards those tracks. And like I said before, the Granny, once you get your AR player posted up, does finally get flanked from one player, but Josh there able to trade back again. So much time going into Splyce's favor, starting off so strong, and this is what you like to see out of these elite squads on Championship Sunday.
Well, you're going to see the rotation coming in, but cast your eye to the top right-hand side of your screen. All golden. You see the specialists are going to be coming in very, very shortly, and more than likely a very highly contested hill coming up. Dave just hiding back, and there's the first specialist. Heatwave takes him down, and that's 2 back-to-back. They need to get some points, and here we go. Specialists lighting up on the train tracks.
Couldn't take out Bance, so need the heat wave to do it. Nice job from Exertus to break in, though. They have to try and get the score back tied up into trains, but Specialists could be coming into play. Lots of gunfights going down. Hockey doing his best, picking up 2 to intro in. The spawns kind of all over the place, but looks like Exertus with the Kinetic coming in. Hockey, good stuff from him. I think he's on a 3 or a 4 streak here. 3 for him. Good stuff. Pushing out both sides of the hill, making the other team Splyce spawn out the back alley.
I mean, Bryce touched on it before. Slayer rating, you know, kill rate and everything. He's top of the leaderboards for like 3 of those titles, and he's not disappointing. He's 14-9. Yes, they are about 50 points behind, but he's doing his job at the moment. Hopefully he'll get a few more objective with only 12 seconds. Actually quite low for his squad. Joe, on the other hand, though, breaking that 30-second mark, does... Oh no, that was Josh falling down. Breaking the 100 points mark, a big milestone in this game. And I think this map heavily favors Splyce. These assault rifles are just kind of too strong for the SMGs of Exertus.
Yeah, they're fighting so well from the hill right now. You see multiple players over that 30-second mark with the hill time, where you, as you see on Exertus, not the same. Looks like the lead going even more streaks still in the back pocket for Bance as well. Probably going to see those coming out either on rotation for 2nd or 3rd. Joe rated, locking down middle again. The RK5 almost able to take him out, but the team play overall from the hill. If you fight from the hill and get kills, it's really straightforward. That's why the lead is how it is.
Well, we talked about Exertus as that hardpoint specialist team. You know, to lose the first series, sorry, the map in the series, it would be kind of strange for them. They don't usually go 1-0 down. They did, though, against Infused. They bounced back. Don't underestimate them in other game types, but my goodness, 100 points nearly separating these teams. Splyce have come to play in the semi-final.
Exertus only has 1 player positive right now. It is the star in hockey. I think you're going to need more out of Vortex. He has been that sort of secondary figure for them, just not too much going on for him. Intro time again for Splyce. The pinch trying to come in from Exertus. I like how they're trying to set this up. They should be able to break this one. 1 more player in the hill, and there it is. But have the Cerberus to worry about as well as the battle at back alley continues.
Yeah, I'm actually questioning whether someone's actually controlling that Cerberus. I think it might be Bance. I'm going to hop on board. He is. He is in the machine, and he's trying to pick up a kill. It is 1. He's going to be EMP'd, so he's going to get out of that. I'm not sure if it has gone down. No, he's still roaming around here.
Yeah, so many kills going back and forth, but you don't see any times going into Exertus' favor. I don't know if they just keep over-challenging from the hill. The streaks coming in from Bance, though, you really expect them to come in on the second. Good use from him. The scrap time winding down on this one. About a 100-point lead for Splyce. They should be able to get the rest of the scraps. Josh going absolutely huge at the back with the AR, but finally we see Exertus winning a rotation battle. They should be able to get a lot of time back. 2 players, but the spawning out is going on. I need to see this player from Splyce try and stay alive at Globe. Granny, so important, and if Exertus loses this one, I think it's going to be just about over.
Yeah, Desire, the last man alive there. You can see where he spawns out. I wanted to highlight there. But Splyce, you know, they broke that. They didn't have that spawn rotation, and they left it till about 5-10 seconds, and then all the kills just came in their favor. And again, that 100-point lead is still very conclusive here. Dave getting in the mix. Heatwave is available. He's going to get a couple of points back-to-back, and he breaks into the positive kill-death ratio, but it's not enough at the moment. They are at a big deficit. Contestion comes in. He knows where they're coming from, and too much for Dave as Joe and Josh, the Double J's, team up and take back Grannies.
Yeah, basically Exertus not playing the start of these hills well at all. Splyce doing it great. However, working around the back, making sure those spawns go into their favor. Dave again breaking in though, has the wave to work with, but just not enough time going into their favor. Splyce doing a great job slaying out towards the spawns, making Exertus worry so much that they can't focus on getting this consistent hill time. A little bit of time, the scrap from Granny's going to go to Exertus, making the score a little bit better, but about a 90-point lead going into tracks again. Who's going to have the better specialist? My bet's on Splyce.
Yeah, well, Josh is using one of those specialists right now just to gain a little bit more map control. Like the way he's pushing out, he's gaining the points via bans, but he's actually going to get in the mix now. Specialists are available for Exertus. Let's go on board with them and see what they're going to do. Desire, well, far out. Not going to go on board with him too much. Vortex, double pistol kill. And they need more. They seem to be kind of trading. This 100 points has been consistent now for a while, so they are going back and forth, but they need to do more than that. What is it that they're missing at the moment?
This is a good pinch to try and get some consistent hill time, but basically they're not getting that triple stack into the hill. Again, they get cleared out so fast. Splyce able to break in from the barn side, something that shouldn't be able to happen. I think Exertus is just stretching their setup a little bit too thin when it comes to the hill. Splyce stacking up with 4, pushing in and just winning those the gunfights constantly, largely due to how Bance is playing. 33 and 21 to start.
Well, I do want to highlight this game's been very contested. We're seeing that clock tick down, 1 minute 30 left, and if that goes all the way, you will see the game end. Not something that usually happens, but keep your eye on it as we go back to the middle. Lightning Strike's going to come in. Not going to tag anyone up as Rated and Josh do the job for him. Hawkey, though, taking him off that power position. 28 and 23, single-handedly having a good game, but that's not what it's about. Kinetic Armor picks up 2. Finds himself in the ground once again. Splyce and this 100-point lead is not going anywhere.
We talked about the ARs having the advantage on this one, and Splyce, that is into their wheelhouse for sure. Joe trying to do his best to break through bricks, and again, the team fights 1 again. Bance with a 2, breaking in, and that's why they're able to get so much time. It seems like Exertus will have a good setup, and then all of a sudden they will get broke. I just think Vortex might be trying to play a little bit too fast in these hill positions when they're controlling. Just not much he can really do, but Bance completely taking over, him and Rated over a minute in the hill.
Yeah, and Ban's actually 38 and 24, a positive 14 at the moment. He's going to hit the rotate now shortly after, and they have control. Exertus just seems so far away. I mean, just bringing the minimap up for a second.
Spread out.
Like, there's no kind of pin, you know, they're trying to go for this pinch, but like you said, triple stacking, pushing through the same way, overpowering them. It just seems a little bit lost, and that 100-point lead is being extended. Splyce can end it here. Exertus, though, do break through.
Splyce just being the bullies in this one, to be honest. They're grouping up a lot better. Multiple times we see those red arrows on the minimap so far apart from each other. They do it again. They get out of the hill. The streaks are coming in. Splyce doing such a great job, and another break for them. 30 seconds left in this one. Streaks and nades coming back and forth, but ultimately, the last player alive in the hill now is Rated. Can close it out here. Looks like it will be contested for most of this. I think another Granny Seed hill will be seen here, and that's going to be Exertus' only chance.
Yeah, but they can't even let any scrap points go. They have to dedicate themselves to this. And if they give Splyce too good of a spawn, in fact, they're giving up the last 7 seconds. They do have Granny Hill. They do have that spawns, but it's gonna be tight, Teep.
Yeah, look, seems like Hockey's trying to do his best with this submachine gun. Again, the only player positive. Dave's got his work cut out for him. A wave going in. He needs to use it to control the back spawns. Good plays from him. Those yellow arrows on the bottom side of the minimap. They need to wrap back towards that middle. Good job. Heads up play from them. They can't just be feeding streaks because that is going to be the way that Exertus will fight back. 40 seconds left on this Granny Hill. Splyce trying to do their best to work these spawns, but it is so hard to break those back silos.
Well, Ban's Kinetic Armor. He's going to go in. He's going to try and end it right here. Taking control of the Hardpoint. Kinetic finds a second, and Josh is going to find a third. Doesn't, but Josh trades it out. This should be the end unless Exertus can just sneak in. Doesn't happen. And again, I said it probably about 10 times during that game, but the 100-point lead continues. 250 to 147.
Absolute domination from the boys over on Splyce. Bance with that kinetic, making plays time and time again throughout that hard point. You look on the other side, Vortex with a big struggle. When a sub-player on the other side of Splyce, he had help. He had multiple players with him in the hill, and that's why Vortex was never able to break in and gets punished. 47 deaths is a lot.
Yeah, and we talked about, you know, Hawkey being kind of the shining star. Vortex, he was kind of that second in command. 25 and 47, you know, nearly double negative there. It was a downfall, but do you know what? The veto system, it played perfectly for Splyce. They didn't have to play Evac. They didn't have to play close quarters. They played a map which benefited them. Assault rifles, it was only going to end one way when we saw that kind of pull out. 3 SMGs on Fringe. What do you think about that?
It's a very unique style, but I don't know. The Exertus did a good job of setting up on rotation, and then all of a sudden, Splyce would just bully through, and all that time they took setting up meant nothing. If you're not getting any sort of intro time, you know, what are you gonna do, right? But that's gonna do it for map number 1. Gonna get a little bit more in-depth analysis from the boys at the desk.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're joined back here, and as you can tell, Jonas has got a lot taller and a lot more attractive. Anyway.
Compliment from Brycey.
Yeah.
It's like a double compliment because it doesn't happen very often.
All right, well, let's talk about that map then. Dominating. Splyce, simply dominating. Exertus, we called them a hardpoint specialist. Didn't look very special, though.
No, they looked special at being very average there. If anything. I mean, Splyce just didn't. I mean, they played it very well. Bance was absolutely slaughtering them, but I mean, he was doing it on his own at the same time. I mean, everyone was playing really well collectively, but it always was Bance picking up those 2 kills, and he was primarily the reason that they won the game against, well, not primarily the reason, but one of the big reasons why they won against Epsilon. So he's having a good tournament so far, especially today. But yeah, once again, just very, very strong from Splyce.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of slaying power from Bance, but outside of that, the real downfall of Exertus was Vortex, because 25 and 47, I think, was the final kill death spread, which
Put
is...
him on blast. Go on, tell him.
You should be doing better. Should be doing better. There we go.
For Christ's sake. It's not like TeePee coming in here and telling him, all right, well, you did this wrong, and you just...
Here, I've got a criticism. So I was sitting with some fantastic Call of Duty minds, and they gave me some knowledge that I've stolen and repurposed to use my own. Hawkeye, little bit just playing for kills.
I mean, that's
here's the difference, right? He was getting kills, and he's very positive. But his deaths are low. His interactions are very low. He's not doing anything apart from baiting his teammates out. You're losing by over 100 points, and you're not dying. You know, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's been something that's touched upon before. I do know that.
They're called Jake kills, or they used to be called Jake kills.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same, and you know, he always puts up big numbers, and that could be a big reason why. I mean, you know, he does go for a lot of kills, etc., but it can sometimes work out. Didn't in that case, but moving on to the next map.
It certainly is. Well, the Ban and Protect is starting up into this one. Overkill being ripped away straight away, fairly standard. First tactical has gone. We haven't seen a lot of double tacticals this weekend, but there is one coming in here. Concussion and Flashbang have disappeared.
Yeah, they're going to go, and I'll be interested to see if it doesn't look as if any snipers are being really concentrated on here. So we are going to see them at least, although it's saying that I can't really recall. I mean, Bance had an okay game before with the sniper rifle against Epsilon, so maybe he'll bring that one out. Otherwise, pretty standard from the Ban and Protect so far. Overclock and Overkill obviously coming out as well.
Yeah, I mean, that overkill, it's just reducing the chances of any snipers appearing. Obviously, no secondary. And as you say, it's only just standard stuff from there. And there's thermal, so I'd be very surprised to see snipers popping out now.
All right, well, that's actually Joe who's getting rid of it as well, so they must be worried about Exertus' sniping capabilities. So, interests me, because I can't really recall any moment this weekend where I've seen Exertus have an outstanding sniper gameplay at any point.
For me, taking away the thermal, it's not a massive nerve, right? We still see good snipers using things like a Varix or something like that, but it's just, I always feel like even with the best snipers, not having that thermal, it downgrades it a little bit. You can still do work with it, but I just feel like you're not always going to be its potential. It's not always going to be as good.
Yeah.
Because you're going to miss a lot of your thermal makes it so much easier to hit most of the time. But the draft is coming in. We're seeing Kinetic and Active for the guys on Exertus. Then we're seeing Active, Camo, Overdrive, and Heatwave come in from Splyce.
It wouldn't surprise me to see it the same, or if there is a pick from Exertus, they're going to go Glitch. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see Vision Pulse, but moving into this now, it is going to be Desire picking up the Glitch instead. We've seen him use that pretty much every S&D we've watched him. Let's see if he can do anything with it this time, because I can't remember any specific time where it's really worked out well for him. But it's a very niche sort of thing with the very small moments that you can use it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few uses. Maybe you get in a bad position, bang, I'm back out. I might be able to do something here. Maybe you need to peek a bomb. Maybe you need to go into a position, and sometimes it's not always an easy shoulder peek, so you go in, you quickly hit back out if you're in a bad position.
I mean, if you're going to use it, this map's a really good one for it.
Yeah, it's kind of a try again. And then you've got Overdrive, right? Overdrive, for me, is really quite important on this map. I think you can get great control of B Street. You can get in there and you get a bit of a timing kill. All of a sudden, that opens up B. You have more control than you usually would. But again, the negatives that come with Overdrive and why some teams don't prefer to use it is the fact that you are outside your teammates. They might not be in a great tradable position. You can lose first blood just as easy as you can get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It's a risky move, the overdrive, especially. I mean, because there's nothing protecting you from getting wiped out as the same as anybody who doesn't have overdrive. That's the thing. I mean, you can get up there quick, but if the other team gets sight lines on you very quickly,
or if they know,
you can be spotted, especially on this map, especially if you're pushing down B side. They can get there in time to shut you down if you're not careful. So, I mean, that's going to be one thing the teams are going to have to look out for, but it can always create interesting plays. It's nice to see people be ballsy with it, not just do the standard rush up to the bomb site, you know? Maybe just cannon through middle of the map, and suddenly you're in their spawn, causing problems. It has a lot of different possibilities, that's the thing.
So this is the thing, I mean, with snipers not possibly going to be in play here with those two key things being removed.
They'll still be used, I think, that's the thing. I mean...
The effectiveness has been nerfed. Well, we'll see, but it's...
Would you take a sniper, Rel?
I don't know why I found that so funny. I would do terrible. I would do terrible with any gun. I think we all know this.
I think Rel's losing it.
I don't know what to choose.
It's been 3 days and Rel is slowly losing all control.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't choose a sniper. Not with those bans, because I'd want thermal. That's
okay.
That's what I'd say.
Fair enough, Rel.
M8 all the way.
M8 all the way for Rel. All right, well, I think this game is getting ready to get underway. Quick predictions for this map before we go.
Yeah, after that display on the Hardpoint Splyce.
Yeah, Splyce just looking so dominant.
I think I'm going to join you here. Jonas, who's here before, maybe he's stuck with Exertus, but not this time. All right, it's time to hand over to our casting duo once again. Momo, Teep, bring it on.
Here we go. Map number 1, going over to the boys on Splyce. Very, very dominating performance. The Fringe, the long-range battles definitely favored them on that one. Seemed like the bullies. Will they be able to bring it back? Momo, who's your player to watch in this one from either team?
Either team, I'm going to be watching Bance from Splyce 100%. I've already recognized that he will be using that PO6. He's actually using the Evacs. But for me, I want to see what Vortex can do bouncing back off that hard point, purely because it was so disappointing.
Definitely agree with you on that one. Looking like a quick A push. Got to be careful though. Hockey backing up out of broken. Lots of shots going in. Very fortunate to conserve his life on that one. The double A stack from the members on Splyce. Gunfight's going down. Nice gunfight's going on. A lot of pressure coming on from the side of Exertus, bullying over towards that A bomb site. Bomb going down quick. The guys from Splyce now stuck in a very tough situation, especially Bance with the PO6.
Well, he's got his teammates trying to bait him out, but I just think that's almost a bit suicide. Joe's going to come in and finally matching up against each other, 2v4. It's not going to end well, but Bance does pick up one, finding only 3 left, 30 seconds on the clock, and he's going to be challenged close range. That RK5, deadly as always. Dave picking up that final kill.
Kind of weird to see Splyce play so aggressive on defense, trying to go into broken like that. The other team is the one that has to push. Not sure if they knew how that one worked for a second there. If you could just hold that broken, it's very hard for the other team to push through. They were able to open up from middle and broken at the same time. It was a very good bait and switch from Exertus overall. Those two players have broken. Hockey was almost taken out, took a lot of damage, but able to escape with his life. And nice round to start the game from Exertus.
Well, there is the loadout of Bance. It's the PO6 Variks 3. He does have a few perks alongside that as well, but it doesn't look like he's finding anyone. Just look at that mini-map.
Look at Joe go. Oh man, straight up the middle of the map. No one from Exertus watching that. He's able to push up to the middle truck and get the player so fast in the round. The quad stack at the left side of the map did not really work out, and now Joe in a very good situation. Shots going into multiple players, going towards the back. Taken out by Vortex though. 30 seconds left. I don't know if Exertus is going to have enough time to retake here.
Well, Josh sees the Shadow 3v3 and he anticipates coming through, and Vortex turning up. Bance and Rated in a difficult position now because 25 seconds. They need to pick up some kills, and Rated's going to do that 1v2. Vortex, time to shine. I think it's too much for you.
Going to be a very tough situation for him. Not a lot of time to work with. The defuse time is 7.5 seconds. Going to get pinched around. Rated, saving his team in that one. A very good setup over towards the A bomb. Just too much time it took for Exertus to rotate all the way back around their spawn. Would really like to see them cut through middle or something to shave off a few seconds on the wrap back. But props to Rated in that one. Opening up, holding down that B, the barn, over towards A. Very good stuff from him.
The one thing that I thought there was maybe a bit of research has been done because they just ran straight through the middle of the map. Exertus just dedicated all 4 players to B. Let's see how it pans out for the flip side as Dave and Desire head over to this B site. In fact, Desire's turned around. He's watching the flank. Vortex is going to be the most aggressive as he does head over to this top rock. But HCXD is already on the battlefield. That's Rated. I'm just keeping him highlighted in case that does come into play. Let's see it from his angle, though.
Just gaining information, scouting out as much as possible. Desire doing a great job watching this flank. We're not going to let that happen again. Joe was trying to get a little bit sneaky to get that first blood up towards the middle, but not falling for it again. A gunfight going down at this top. Granny Vortex able to win that one, and 2 players going down from Splyce. Josh and Joe not doing too well to start this one. The team push looks like it's going to be going on over towards the B Street. The pinch coming in, and nice job from Vortex. The first kill in Granny, going up towards middle, pinching those last players into B. Solid round from Exertus.
Again, Splyce, you said it the first round, why are they being aggressive on defense? I almost had to jump on board with them because they're in the opposing team's grannies and they're on the flank. Desire just sat in his spawn and picked one off. The HCXD wasn't really utilized. Why are they being so aggressive? I'm a bit kind of surprised because this is not how we usually see them play.
I'm all about the aggressive nature and doing it together, but I like it on offense more than defense. Especially with how slow Exertus is playing some of these rounds. It worked out for them on the offense, but I feel like they need to tone down that aggression a bit. Looks like the 4-stack, again, the same sort of strategy from Exertus, sticking to it. Looks like the players from Splyce trying to work up towards middle again, and you can't just give up these middle head glitches so easy. Shots going down from Joe. The bomb is going down as well. Exertus players spread out far.
Okay, well, one who's flanked literally the whole map is Vortex. He's already tagged one up, but he's going to get away with his life, and it seems like Exertus are almost pinching them back. They get 1 kill, Desire gets the second, and now a 2 versus 4 for Rated and Josh. Rated just kind of a bit of no man's land for me there. Put himself in the action. Josh is going to fall as well, and that's going to be a very convincing round for Exertus in some sense, obviously due to the pinch, but what do you make of that? Because I'm genuinely sat here watching this Infection S&D. This is not normally how Infection S&D works out for me. You know, I'm sat here, they push B, you know, it's heavy stacked. Splyce is just throwing everything out and just pushing mid, pushing A. Bit of a strange one.
Definitely weird to see both of these teams favoring this A bomb site so much. Lots of players in the stack coming in. You know, Exertus is trying to play that normal style, but Splyce switching it up. A weird setup after in the post-plant position. You expect them to just sort of hold their positions. They're spreading out so far on the map, but the pinch from Exertus was set up very, very well. Desire picking up those 2 early kills on the retake. It seemed like on the mini-map he messed up a player at middle a lot.
I mean, talk about watching the flank here. I've got to go off him because Dave is too far up the map, but Desire is literally sat at the back. A HCXD is involved, and that's already been taken out. That was Vortex. Hawkey is going to fall. Dave trying to answer back here on the top rock, and he does so in great fashion. 3v3 now. 1 minute left on the clock.
This is a little bit more normal round. We're used to seeing Rated peeking out from the B Street, catching Dave trying to wrap back around his spawn. Shots going in, and the push from Splyce. Great job getting that bomb down, and Desire is going to be stuck in this 1 versus 3 situation. They have a couple rounds in their favor, though, so going to try and play kills as much as possible. Stop these Splyce players on their little streak that they're on. But nice little tight setup on the B Street.
I think he just spotted him there, and Desire is going to get the 2 shot. As he does just look, it glitch has been used, questionable in a 1v2, but can he pull off this 1 versus 3 now? He's got a lot to do. He doesn't have the bomb. Let me just see if Joe has spotted. I think he spotted the bomb there. Let's go back on board with Desire. After investing in the glitch, he finds one. He has seen the second. 23 seconds. He's going to go for the run. He's got to chase him.
I like this play from him, trying to pursue this player, going over towards the green alley, but he needs to make a move with this bomb as soon as possible. Only 12 seconds to work with. Still not going for it, just playing for the kill at this point, wasting all of his time, and it looks like Splyce is going to easily take this one. All Joe needs to do is hide at this point, but will he be spotting the player at the rock? And no, the timing just gets away from him there. That was way too close for comfort. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to be able to catch. Joe, I think, was the last player on Splyce alive there, but able to pull it out. I'm not sure why he took so much time looking for that player when the bomb was so close to him, but overall, almost worked out for him. Splyce with a much-needed round, making it just a little bit closer.
Yeah, you could see Desire really disappointed with himself. He invested that glitch into it. You know, the guys on the desk talked about that glitch. Bance, though, PO6, he has seen a couple. He'll be calling that one out. And it looks like a little bit more traditional here from Splyce. Rated's already picked up one. Sniper is coming in, but let's go back on board with one of the Splyce players as the bomb does go down. Josh finding one. Bance, the second I go off him, he picks up a kill. Bound to happen. 2v4 for Dave and Hawkey, though. Dave is under attack. He needs to back off. He's going to find one, not get the kill, though. And now Hawkey left in an impossible situation. Oh, my. This is going to be too tough. Joe just watching over that bomb. As Bryce says, best cover in the game. It literally is unstoppable sometimes. But again, another round for Splyce, getting back into this game.
Rated, doing what he does best, just barreling through the middle of the map into B steps, getting control of B, putting it down, and picking up a couple more kills to his name. Starting off with 7, getting these rounds back and tie game. Map number 2, first semifinal of the Gfinity Summer Masters. Huge map on the line. Feel like if Exertus, loses a few more rounds straight here, gonna lose some momentum, lose some confidence, and ultimately lose the series, in my opinion.
Okay, well, again, traditional B push here from Vortex, just taking the high ground. Dave does have the bomb. And again, simple as that, Desire watching the flank. It looks like here, just bringing the minimap up, though. Splyce have gone for full map control middle. 2 have doubled up into B. Very slow round here, completely opposite to those first couple.
Yeah, I like how Splyce is adapting in this one. We saw them try and set the tempo a little bit too fast on their defensive rounds early in this one, now slowing it down to the same pace as momentum. First gunfight's going down, the trade trying to happen. Vortex able to open up with 1, uses the heat wave. Someone needs to get in there and trade as fast as possible, but no, the player gets away. The heat wave ultimately wasted, but Desire doing his best to catch these players at the B steps. 1 player from Splyce still sort of lurking around that floating rock at the back on the minimap. Gunfight's going down. Hockey able to take that one. And now it's going to be up to Bance in the 1 versus 3. Has to try and retake and defuse this bomb. I don't think it's going to happen here. Going to try and get this first player in the bomb site. Shots going down, but no. Dave from Exertus closing out that round, and very good execution from Exertus.
Yeah, Exertus don't seem to have lost too much composure after the hard point. And we saw that heatwave invested, and it was so awkward because that second player, I'm sure he just wanted to slide in a trade, but there was a frag grenade just rolling around in the B bomb site, and he couldn't do that. Obviously not using Flak Jacket, but Exertus do take the 7th round. 4-3 now as they separate themselves. For me, this is a must-win map. You can't give Splyce a 2-0 lead in a series. It's too much. Especially with how good Splyce looked in that respawn. Definitely going to be scary to see how well they're going to be able to perform in the uplink. Looks like a bit of a normal strategy from Splyce, resorting back to the bread and butter strats here on Infection, working up the bomb towards the B Street. EMP checking, see if anyone's going to be playing the B steps. Expect Rated to lay this bomb down here, stretching it towards this wall, making sure he cannot be shot from middle. Good strategy from him. Bance under fire, though. 2 players flanking around from Exertus. He needs to be careful. He might get stuck here, but catches the timing on the player at Green Alley. Vortex going to be shot in his back. Fortunate series of events for Bance, playing his life. Nice shots going down and traded instantly. Yeah, Joe's going to have to turn his back as 1 is behind. I think Bance called that out as Josh falls to the sniper as well. Literally stuck between the rocks, and now this is good. Exertus bite back, and that was a round which, in all honesty, I thought Splyce had control of. I thought Bance would have called out the flank. But those individual gunfights, Exertus took down 4, whereas Splyce only taking down Vortex. Bance doing such a great job, catches the player on the timing at the Green Alley, worked out for him, and then instantly challenges, kind of threw it away to the player, which was Hockey at middle. Good trades going down ultimately from Exertus, and that's why they're able to take the round, pinching from all angles onto the B Street, and that's sort of the issue sometimes. When you go straight up for that B plant and don't have a certain side to take, if you get pinched from so many sides, once you go down in players, you can't watch those 3 ways, right? Yeah. And they get punished for it. Exertus doing that 2 rounds now during the 8th that has occurred. An overdrive is available for Josh, so I'm going to stay on board with him even though he's on the defense, just to see which route he takes. Will it be applicable? Desire watching the flank, probably not. So let's go back on board. Is he just going to keep going, actually? This is so aggressive. Yeah, I think he's going to he invested the overdrive. He's just going to try and put as much pressure on the enemy base as much as possible. Going to be up to Desire, though. The gunfight's going down. He glitches out. He calls that out to his team, and the rotation going back down, or it looks like they're going to be pushing up towards the B Street. I love the decisive call from Exertus here. 5-3 advantage for them. This round can clinch it. Looks like bomb will be going down soon. Gunfight going around the back. Bance able to pick up that first one on the flank. Now, Exertus has severely pinned in to the B bomb site. I can only see this going Splyce's way. I can't see them getting away with it. They need to win those first engagements. Desire, though, just taking a bit of a power position. He's going to be challenged by 2, and he falls. Dave does have kinetic. He falls too. Vortex, can you do any better? Not going to happen as Rated. I think he'd already jumped on the defuse, but he's going to give it to a teammate. Yeah, very good stuff from Splyce. Sort of a replica of the round we saw before. That same pinch. Sort of thing. You got pinched in on that B Street. You need to do a good job of taking a side or making sure you're controlling everything from the top rock. You can't just sit low on the street, and you saw Splyce get up high on the map, jumping over the players on Exertus and their setup. Not much you could really do. Splyce
showing some life, trying to make this comeback in this search and destroy. I love the decisive pressure on their defenses, to be honest. I feel like they were just sort of overdoing it in those early rounds.
They're just kind of getting caught off guard. Desire can't watch, the whole flank. There's too many routes. There's 2 or 3 ways that he's got to watch. So let's go on board with Splyce now, see what they're up to. But first, I'm checking out kinetic armor. But for Exertus, this is a defining round. They have kinetic armor and active camouflage. So far, you may favor Exertus. They have a HCXD on the battlefield as well, and that's going to be coming up against rated Josh, making first blood.
Yep, looks like one player, Vortex, caught in that middle, trying to pressure up towards that green alley. HC is going to be taken out. Looks like one player on Splyce did have that flak jacket perk on, so not taken out by that. Going to see if the kinetic armor is going to be caught into play. Desire sneaking in that corner on the bomb site, though, able to catch 2. Rated and Advanced, just no idea. Played a little bit lazy there, sloppy, not checking your corners in the B-bomb site. Numbers now in Exertus' favor. Josh going to try and make a play with his teammate up towards the street. Being chased, though. Desire picking up another. Josh stuck in the 1v2.
So close here. There's 2 specialists. Hawkey has active camo. Dave has kinetic. Surely this has to go one way. Going to go on board with Dave as there's only going to be a static player. Kinetic is used. And you see there, the boys, handshakes all around. They're happy to take the search and destroy. And I think rightfully so. Desire, though, in that last round, picked up 3. And you can see him there standing up, communicating with his squad. He's proud of himself there. Series tied up.
Very, very good execution from Exertus, getting these retakes multiple times here on Infection. I think Splyce, they threw it away a little bit early here, trying to carry that momentum they had from map 1, but they get punished. Exertus' slow style counters them very, very well, able to even out this series 1-1.
The strangest thing is Exertus have lost the hardpoint in both this series and against Infused. They came off better against Infused. They took them down. Before this tournament, I would have been very uncomfortable with their S&D and relying on CTF and Uplink. But speaking to Desire actually just before this game, he said, we did this against Infused. Like, it's not just hardpoint. We're not a one-map wonder. We are good at the rest. So I'd be interested now to see how this 3rd and 4th go down.
Yeah, very, very important maps 3 and 4 coming up in this first semifinal here at Gfinity. A lot of good stuff going on from both sides on that one. Going to get a more in-depth analysis on that Infection from the guys at Analysis.
All right, well, thank you for that. Guys, that was a pretty good game, actually, I thought. It was interesting to see those 2 kind of different play styles in certain areas. But, Jonas, tell me what you thought.
Well, what I first think is that it's kind of worrying for Splyce because they always put themselves as one of the best team in S&D and especially rated. And going up against Exertus, I don't feel they're very strong S&D team. They played that one pretty well, but I also saw a lot of mistakes from the Splyce side. There was many situations where also Exertus could have done better. I'm mainly thinking about that 1v2 from Desire. That he definitely didn't play off correctly, and he could have actually caught Joe in the end. So I'm kind of worrying for Splyce. I called it to be a close game. I actually thought it was going to be the other way around. Exertus winning Hardpoint and Splyce winning S&D. But hey, same result.
No, I was going to say, I thought if there was one thing I was sure of going into this series, it was that Splyce were going to be taking the search and destroys.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not worked out that way. Daily Desire, 10 and 5. Really bringing the heat to it. And it's a narrow victory, I suppose. But Exertus were just convincingly the stronger team. Even the rounds that they were dropping, there was always the chance that they might have been able to nip it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, for me, Exertus taking that one, I'm surprised. Again, I kind of agree with Jonas. I saw that going a different way entirely. And I'm wondering, what Splyce are now currently thinking. Because they must have thought after they took the hardpoint in dominating fashion, I should add, we got this. Straight 3-0 for us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good to see also Exertus. We talked about the fact they're such a young team. They're barely new in this top of the scene, and then going into a semifinal it's a big thing for them. So being able to bounce back from arguably the strongest game type that they lost into an S&D, which is the strongest game type for Splyce, and mentally being capable of delivering to the expectations and winning this map is huge for them, and it shows how mature they are for such a young team, and we got a game on our hands.
Is there a little hint of Splyce picked the first map, Exertus picked the second?
Maybe. I mean, obviously it's the favourable map, so they're choosing what they know that or what they feel they'll be better at than their opponents. But I don't know if there's that much weight of it. I think it was just purely and simply Exertus played a blinder on Search and Destroy. They had a great game. Desire again shone for me, but that's what it was.
Okay, now we're seeing the ban and protect in just a second, but quickly. OK and Vortex, to me, in Season 1 with Splyce, were always the ones opening that bomb site for the Splyce lineup when they were playing with Splyce, and it showed again. OK and Vortex, time and time again, they were opening the bomb site exactly like Splyce was at Season 1. Kind of shows how their history with them is important in this game.
It certainly is. Well, the ban and protect has started, like you said. And we can see the MA being protected straight away by Joe. That stock protect coming in from Vortex. Suddenly need that for the respawn. Man of War then being ripped away. Active Camo and Overdrive dropping as well. Those two specialists usually disappear in Uplink.
Yeah, I mean, not really surprising. We've seen the teams going after the same weapons and attachments onto the first map. Is just a kind of a different variation. I think once again, this is probably just going to benefit Splyce overall. I would say that M8 Protect is very important for them, and they should be doing very well on Infection. Now going into Uplink, that's going to be a map where those very long lanes and those ARs are going to be extremely important. We've seen Desire play well, but again, to me, the lack of a second very solid AR in these Exertus lineups is kind of scary.
It certainly seems that way, and I just mean on those ban and protects as well. It's the M8 Protect and the stock protect is kind of pretty much telling the story of what this is going to pan out as being. It's going to be a heavy M8 game probably on either side. Specialist draft coming in though here. Usual suspects appearing. Heatwave either side, Tempest either side, Kinetic Armor either side, and Scythe either side. So mirror matchup.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to be expecting once the Camo and the Overdrive are out in this Uplink. It's also good to see two lethals on Infection because it's the 3-lane kind of map where you've got this very large lane that you can control with the sight. Then I think it makes a lot of sense. We've seen even when Camo and Overdrive were banned, we were seeing 3 specialists with the third being Vision Pulse. And then instead, they went for 2 lethals. I think it makes a lot of sense on Infection.
Oh, 100%. I think lethals make sense on this map. You can use the lethals really to open up a few areas to actually make good pushes. Not only that, but you know, you can get a spawn trap on. You can use it to take down mid-cut. You can make sure that you kind of push it to your advantage here. Sometimes you do see a little bit of mid-control, and it can be difficult to get in what I like to call the scoring zone. Going towards Church, a little bit easier. Basically, once you get past tank, you can go for that easy one, and that forces players to kind of actually be in a position to at least kind of intercept. But a lot of times they push through barn, they go through broken, they try and actually push through that way, and we see that quick one over the Church as well. And again, specialist help there at the same time.
Yeah, and what I also really want to see from Exertus is maybe something different. As we said, this kind of map doesn't really favor them from the pace, but I want to see EMPs, tacticals are in. Use them. Yeah. Make Splyce suffer, make the AR suffer, make the task more complicated. Smokes, tacticals, flashes, you know, there's tons of variation they can do.
I wouldn't go with smokes.
Maybe not smokes, it depends. It could only work maybe in some situations, but I think flash and EMP could actually really work.
They should take 8 smokes.
8 smokes.
8 smokes. Just cover the area, sneak through, and get through it.
I think you actually can't take 2 smokes each. I think that's the one you can't.
Anyway, gas mask. We're gonna just
tag mask.
Tag mask.
Well, the knowledge is just
this is going to pot with you two. This is not going well. Rel, I'm going to ask you a question. Which tactical do you take?
Concussion.
Jonas?
Always.
EMPs probably. I think they're very powerful.
Like that, I like your thinking. Shut down the specialist. That plus, people might be running tech mask anyway.
Well, this is what I was going to say. It's not always the case that just because they are all available, that all 4 players on either side will be running TACMAS, so they do still have some use here, and no doubt we're going to see some of them in play.
Yeah, I think that's a great point you've hit on there, Rel, actually. The fact that some players will run it, some players won't. And I think it's one of these ones where if you are running it, does the other team continue to actually throw them? Like, if you're just kind of wasting them out there, you're like, well, you might have a class that has a few more attachments on your gun and might make it a little bit easier.
Definitely, and now it's going to be a very important one for Exertus. Like we said, it doesn't favor them. They need to go big.
They certainly do. Well, speaking of going big, it's time to hand over to our casters. Momo, Teep, please take it away.
Exertus answering back on that search and destroy, 1 map apiece. If you're just tuning in, this is the first semifinal of the day. 2 more great matches going to be coming up, but Infection, Uplink, the swing map coming up for this series for Splyce and Exertus. Going to see which team is going to be better in this third map respawn.
Oh, wow. What a defensive setup from both teams. No one even wanting to go into that no man's land. First one is Hawkey, and he picks up for 1, does get traded out, but no one really making that kind of very aggressive play. Desire's just gone for a bit of a time waster, I think, there, just kind of throwing that. In fact, no, it wasn't. I correct myself. Vortex was on the flank there. Does get taken down. Splyce will have control.
Yeah, very risky stuff to start that one. I kind of like the play from Exertus, but Splyce was all over it. As soon as they saw that pass go off, they looked for that player in the back and got taken out. Looks like Drone going to be advancing up towards the barn side. Usually going to see it. The normal style of play is to get out of this door and hit the 1, but Exertus not letting that happen too easily. Josh trying to answer back. Nice shots from Joe, locking down the middle of the map. Barn control still in favor of Splyce, and that's the last one. You see the red arrow spawning up in the backside of the map. The 1 should be going in, and there it is. It missed, though. You can't be missing in a semifinal of this caliber. Kills going down, though. Bance and Joe saving the day. Luckily able to get the dunk.
You know what? Sometimes those unfortunate ones do go into number 2s, but there we go. It does go in rated. He's going to pick up that one, and he's on a bit of a streak here. As in the team, we're going to see a 5-kill streak for Joe. 7-1, make it 8-1. I've got to go back on board with him. He's 25 away from the lightning strike. This heat wave could be damaging, but all map control going for Splyce. This could get very dangerous very quickly.
Streaks are being earned by Joe now. Lots of streaks going on, and this spawn trap can be so deadly on Infection. This is, I guess, the less preferred side, but the way Splyce is playing it, you wouldn't think so. Good start from them. Only 2 minutes in, a 5-point lead, and kills still going down. Doing such a great job not blocking that back right spawn, moving the drone up towards the graveyard again, and looks like another dunk will be going in. Splyce absolutely dominating the scoreboard. Joe starting with 10-2.
Oh my goodness. We saw Joe on an 8, rated on a 3. Bancy still, as he finally falls. He was on a 5-kill streak there, but it's 7-0 already, TeePee. Like, this is a scoreline we say maybe at the end of the game. We're only a quarter of the way through, and Splyce are dominating. Desire 1 and 6, Dave 2 and 7. Lightning strikes are coming in, melees as well. Splyce are literally on another level rated, surely not the double.
Oh my gosh, it looks like he's gonna sneak through. The dunk going in, rated, almost shooting the player, but no, he's blocked. Hockey able to get there just in time. Great plays from him. Vortex stealing that drone away, and that was absolutely huge. It looked like Rated was gonna get that dunk for sure. Streaks trying to come in, the low wall run from the drone runner, but Joe again there, holding down the middle of the map. The drone has been reset, and the last 2 players from Exertus are stuck on the B street now.
Well, rated, he literally doesn't care who's in his way. That looks very high, and it is. It stops the interception. I like that throw. Joe and Josh do have that specialist, and they have streaks. It's getting really, really close to almost unthinkable things for Exertus. They've not scored. They've not even been in the enemy half.
Yeah, basically Splyce playing this map perfect, just holding down those sides of the map that they need to hold. Exertus is forced to make a play, get caught time and time again. Joe and Rated opening up again, Rated with 2. Working the drone up middle again, should be another easy 1-point attempt. Last player from Exertus stuck over towards the left side of the map. The spawn kill's going in again. The interception does come into play this time, but the player is taken out. The 1 player from Splyce in the back picks up the drone. It's gonna be Bance, able to get the dunk again, kinetic and streaks to work with again, but almost gonna overlap.
He nearly overlaps. He nearly makes that kill, for goodness sake. But Josh is the last alive. It's going to slow down. Let's take this back at Pega 2 because it's 10-0. 1 minute to go. Josh just laying down the law with this M8. HCXD is available for him. He's going to use it. These HCXDs slip in the net. I've seen like 2-3 of them flying around at once. It's almost getting a bit ridiculous.
For how fast these guys on Splyce are using streaks, I don't blame them for just throwing them out as fast as possible. Rated opening again on the left side of the map. 1 player going to be at that barn head glitch. Going to make Rated back down a bit. But really, Exertus not having any sort of map control, haven't been past mid-map 1 time on this one, putting back in that spawn trap rate. Rated now, moving up with teammates, drone moving up the middle of the map, should be able to get this one off, but getting a little bit greedy with it. This should be going in now. Good stuff from Rated, always sneaking through with his drone, heads up plays, the kinetic armor from Bance coming in, gonna try and get this flank to get map control back for his team. Double team, able to pick up 1 before he's taken out there. Joe answering again, 14-8 for him. The AR play has been so dominant.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. I feel like all I've watched is Splyce, but to be honest, that's it. It all has been Splyce. 20 seconds left, and Desire now has the drone. Let's see if he can make something of this last 13 seconds. He has taken damage. That drone armor isn't available, but 3 go down. Can he have some shed? The manual pass does come in. Dave takes control. He's gonna fall. And with 5 seconds left, that's not going anywhere, or is it? Vortex finally goes down, and the half is gonna end 11-0. TeePee, is this something that's too much for Exertus?
I think it is. They try to go for this sort of gimmicky play, I would call it, off the start, throwing the drone, over the green alley, get punished for it, and ever since that play happened, Splyce completely took over the middle. Grave, trucks, and there's nothing Exertus could do to answer back. And honestly, if Splyce didn't mess up a few of those plays, it should be even more in their favor. Exertus not able to break out at all. And Splyce, every time Exertus had a chance to break out, it was either raided or Joe locking down the middle again.
Okay, well, they have 3 specialists available coming in, unlike Splyce just with the 1. I'm going to stay on board with them just to see what they have. So they almost deserve it now. The smoke's coming down. They talked about this on the desk, and that's already an early throw. It's gone in. That is from the half wall there. I didn't even know that they were still doing that.
Yeah, such a sick bounce throw off the start. A little bit of a gimmicky strat, but it pays off for Splyce. When you have a lead like that, you can open up. Raided, popping 2 over towards the left side. Broken barn. And Desire stuck here alone again. Splyce constantly getting drone control, working the drone up middle map so fast. Josh taking the drone up the top granny window. Dart going out. So many streaks going wrong for Exertus. There's really nothing they could do to answer back.
And the crazy thing is, all these specialists and streaks, they're coming from Splyce. Exertus, they have them in their back pocket, but then they're not using them. This is the first one we've seen in so long, and you know, it's a Tempest from Desire. It's not changing the game as of yet. 3 kills come in. Could this be the start of something special from Exertus? Someone needs to start by grabbing that drone. It's going to be Dave.
Yeah, they just seem unsure of what to do at this point. They decide to wrap the ball, the 4-man push over towards the B street. You got to try and do something to get control back, force the other team to rotate. But honestly, Splyce could just give this up and not worry at all. Just focus on getting map control back. And, you know, you have so many points to work with. The push, the wrap, shut down instantly by that of Splyce. Nothing going right for Exertus. And again, will Splyce put even more points on the board? 3.5 minutes left here and just so dominating. Josh leading the way, the lead blocker, Hellstorm coming in again, forces the players from Exertus to back down. Looks like this could be another easy one.
Yeah, he needs to go for the 1. I like the way he's not greedy. Even though he's 13-0, they go for that secure 1-point play. The question is, can it be that perfect match? You know, 3 minutes left on the clock, and look at the kill feed. I almost feel sorry for Exertus. They are getting punished so hard, and I've not seen any of them in this position all weekend long.
Yeah, just a great job from Splyce, working up the intro kills at the middle, getting to the power spots time and time again, and once you get to those power spots, a heat wave coming in for Joe. Insult to injury at this point. Exertus trying to do their best to wrap back, but the spawn kills continually happen. The score could easily get to 30 at this pace. Bance taking up drone again, another dunk. Kinetic earned, 2 players wrapping back into death over and over again.
Well, Bance and Joe are the superstars at the moment with 23 and 15, but that's not discrediting Rated or Josh. It's a team effort, and 18-0 says it all. For me, everyone underperforming for the boys of Exertus. I don't care that Hawkey is positive. We've seen that before. He's been positive in the hardpoint, and they got trashed towards the end of that one. How do they answer back to this? There seems no answer.
Again, drone just being thrown up by Splyce, trying to waste a little bit of time. And finally, Exertus players able to break through, but timing about to be had. Looks like Bance able to take out that player. Vortex forcing the scythe out, trying to get this middle map control, picking up 2. Should be able to get some sort of points off of this one. And if they don't get something going here, I already think it's too late. 18 is almost impossible to come back from. Joe, Josh answering back. Double kill from the HC. Tempest coming into play as well. And Dave just playing the chase at this point. The drone wrapping over towards the left street again. Complete control continually for 10 minutes straight for Splyce. Another point should be coming in soon. Kills going in, 3 in a row. The pass going in, another dunk.
It's almost pure entertainment here. I mean, that manual pass, Joe was behind. You know, he'll have been calling for that. You said it could get into the 30s here. It's already 20, a minute left to go. Definitely possible, but it almost feels like Splyce, they're just having some fun now.
Yeah, at this point, I'd just be laughing my way to the victory. 20 points for them already. So many streaks and specialists to work from. It's a KD booster game at this point. Boost those stats, boys.
Well, so far, Hawkey was the stat leader, and it won't be the same after this for sure. Splyce, though, they are not done at 20-0. They want more. They want to go into, potentially, the last map of CTF, basically coming off the biggest victory, and I cannot wait to see what the guys on the desk have to say about this. Heat wave, you see, popped. It's not going to even equal a kill. As Rated finally falls there, Hawkey, another kill to add to his name. In fact, 2 there, 2 headshots, but 30 seconds, Teep. This is incredible.
Unbelievable stuff, to be honest. Both respawns completely dominated by the side of Splyce. I don't know how Exertus is going to be able to bounce back from this one going into the CTF. 25 seconds left. Vortex trying to work the drone, but shut down by Josh again. Joe with 31. Bance with 28. Josh with 25. Rated just hanging out. Probably put his controller down, to be honest. Such a blowout. And this one, 22. Not sure if any more scores are going to be going down. Hockey on the other side, the only player positive again for Exertus.
Indeed. You know, Bance just hitting 30. Joe already breaking through there as the time ticks away. We're going to finish, and I can't believe I'm saying this here, in the semi-final, 22-0. Desire said to me, do not just count as a hardpoint team. Our Uplink and CTF are just as good. I'll be questioning that.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Oh my goodness. A dominating performance in a semi-final of a major tournament, 22-0. Very, very good stuff from Splyce, and I just don't think you can bounce back from such an embarrassing performance. Unbelievable.
Well, Splyce, they're within touching distance of this victory, within touching distance of that final, that grand final. Who will be facing, we do not know, but Josh, 25 and 17, Joe with a positive 12. Team said a stat booster. I think you can take it as just that. But I like the way that 3 of their players, in fact, all 4 had points. They all, you know, contributed to that. It wasn't just one player running objective.
Yeah, basically, you're going to look at the stats after this one, and these players are going to be averaging like 5 dunks or something like that. Absolutely insane. You see a shot of Dave on the other side. You know, can't be feeling good after that one. What a smashing from them. 22-0 in such a high-tier match. I can't believe it.
No. I mean, after that game, I think you said there with Dave, it's like you could see him talking probably to his team, you know, whether it's just, he said in his interview, he tries to say, you know, happy, confident, you know, keep the vibes up, keep the vibes going. I'm not sure if they can recover from that. For me, Splyce, they're here, it's business as usual, and all they have in their mind is that grand final.
That's going to do it for the uplink. Really not too much to go over. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to the boys on the desk. Explain the pounding, boys.
I felt like that was role-playing on Exertus then. I mean, that's how bad it actually got. But, you know, Hawkeye still went positive. What is he doing?
Oh, that was
They didn't get a point.
That was a close game. That was nail-biting stuff. I didn't know which way it was going to go. No, that was probably the biggest victory I've seen on Uplink for a long time.
At this level?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Semi-final, wouldn't expect that at all. Like Momo said, you know, they were saying, don't just count us off on the uplink. We've always got a shot at it. We'll put up some sort of performance, but not even a single
Put
point.
up a point. That's a good place to start. 1.
Yeah.
Then you could try for 2.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that Exertus got this far and that they've been playing so well and that somehow they can end up in this semi-final, play this Uplink and not win a single score.
No.
I mean, not even the one. That's how crazy it is. Splyce got to feel very happy about this one. It was just a tiny scratch, you know. They went Exertus in Uplink, you know, super easy. Let's get this game. Let's go all the way to CTF. Now, I have to agree with Tyler. I think it's very tough to bounce back from this going into CTF.
But bounce
Splyce got to
back.
feel super confident.
Bounce back they must. All right. Rel, I want you to... You're now Dave.
Okay.
I want you to pep talk the Exertus
You want
squad.
me to pep talk?
Pep talk the Exertus squad.
Oh, there's not much I could say to that. The only thing you can really say is just to completely forget about that game. There's absolutely no positive they can take from it. Like we said, I think it was Hawkeye who went positive by a tiny margin. There was 2 pretty much double negative in the team. It's just literally forget about it.
No inspiring speeches then?
None at all. I mean, what is it? It's 2-1 scoreline. They've just got to pretend that it is what it is. They could have lost by 1 point. They could have lost by 50. It's still a loss.
Yeah, and I agree with Rel. When I was a player, that's the kind of stuff you have to say. A map like this, there is literally nothing to say. Just say, okay, let's completely forget about it. We'll watch back when we're home. We'll look what went wrong. We'll start from scratch.
I wouldn't even watch you back when I got home. That map didn't exist.
Unless you want to have a very depressive night and you fancy some ice cream.
Hey, look, there we didn't score a point. We also didn't score a point there. Or there isn't a point. There isn't a point there either.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
awful.
I don't think I've seen at that high level a team not at least get 1 point, especially on that sort of map. That means you didn't get any sort of control in any sort of area, and it's just simply incredible.
And you've been talking about the fact that Exertus didn't make it to Season 2 finals. Maybe that kind of thing going through a map is.
I might also feel like that's your bias for supremacy.
Maybe also. Maybe just tiny.
Just a little bit, Jonas.
Just
There's been a little bit of French bias here this weekend.
Maybe
Just a little bit.
Maybe.
Your face when
Maybe
you're
not.
casting a French team is
But
amazing, by the way.
maybe you're saying Exertus because you're biased towards UK.
Or they're the better team.
But they still didn't qualify.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But when they
It's
turn
all
up on
that
the day,
matters.
I'm going to defend Exertus here. They turned up today.
Yeah.
Whereas
well, not in
supremacy-
Uplink, obviously.
No, not Uplink. Anyway, what we're going to do before me and Jonas come to blows, we're going to go to a very quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be coming with map number 4. Don't go anywhere. Okay, welcome back. It's time to get map 4 underway. My name is Bryce, or Bryce Tacular, if you know me well. Joining me here once again to break this down, of course, Jonas and Rel.
Yeah.
I'm
here.
at loss for words. We just had 22-0, so I'm just not going to speak anymore in honor of Exertus, and they lost so much.
Like, it was genuinely hard to watch that, because it got to the point where it was just silly, and Splyce were kind of just almost playing it very laid back and not taking it seriously and still getting points, so...
I mean, if you look at the series this far, it's crazy. I saw Exertus were going to be really good in Hardpoint, they lost by 100 points, and they just got 22-0 in Uplink. It's ridiculous.
All right, well, the Battle Protect has started and almost finished by the time we join it. It's going to be the Man of War, first of all, from Vortex, Afterburner being ripped away by Joe. And I always find that a very interesting Battle Protect when you take away Afterburner on Evac. It prevents the lower wall runs. It prevents people being too sneaky. So maybe a little bit more of a passive gameplay coming out from Splyce. They maybe want to kind of keep someone back, keep those lanes closed up. Maybe we'll kind of force them through the choke points.
And so does the Camo as well. Definitely want to avoid those sneaky situations. And for the first time actually in respawn mode in this series, we're not seeing anything around the M8 and the stock that have been heavily banned or protected previously. And Exertus, I think they've learned the hard way that it doesn't matter what you try to do around it. And going into this one, they're going to need to go with the scale and the teamwork to win this one.
It's certainly another mirror matchup for the specialist draft. Rel, I want you to kind of take me through here. How do they punch through the defensive Splyce for Exertus?
And more, the interesting thing for me here is the double vision pulse that's going to be present. So that's not overly common on Capture the Flag, but I mean, punching through the defense in terms of specialists, we've got Tempest, which can make or break the kinetic armor. As soon as you pick that flag up, you can pop it. We saw Sonny B trying it a lot on Fringe on the Capture the Flag earlier. That was kind of his main strategy for getting through. And Heatwave, just a staple part of any specialist draft, can be used in pretty much any situation defensively or offensively.
Here's an interesting thing about the Vision Pulse. We could be seeing the age-old Smoke Vision Pulse.
Yeah.
Okay.
We absolutely could. Concussion's in as well, so definitely can be influential going onto the flag or to actually stop the flag. So the flag runner might want to wear Tac Max, but once again, going on to Evac, so many war rounds.
Now you can take your smoke, Jones. Now it's okay for you to take your smokes. Not the last map. This map, though.
This map, yes. I agree.
This map,
I agree,
okay.
and I actually think it's going to have its importance.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to be seeing it here. Like we said, you know, passive gameplay from both these teams is becoming very common in European CTF to be very passive, leave someone behind, make sure you rotate back if you lose a few kills, and just be defensive first and constantly send like, maybe one person out, maybe two, especially on this map to get those pinch in, and actually then pull the flag from there.
Now I do think this is quite a good situation for Exertus, as in the map and the ban and protect. Nothing too bad for them, and this map kind of suits their gameplay. But once again, it's going to come down to that composure, to that mentality, the maturity. Are they going to be able to bounce back from that uplink? Because their heads are probably down. They just need to forget about it.
A little bit. Rel, I'm going to ask you first of all, who do you think is going to win this map?
I think this is where Splyce close it out now. I can't see this going any other way. And don't get me wrong, I know the mindset Exertus have to have is just to forget about that uplink, but it's not that easy. You can't just pretend that never happened. So whilst we'll give it the best shot, Splyce are clearly proving to me that they're the stronger team.
I called Exertus to win the series, but I have to go with Splyce. They've just looked dominant onto that last map.
Okay, so we'll start to come around to the Splyce train. The only thing you can throw in here is that it is an Exertus pick, this map. So maybe this is where they kind of redeem themselves. Who are going to be the key players, though? That's also important for me. Quickly.
Hawkey was a standout player so far in this whole event, so definitely him, and Desire on the other side.
Joe, definitely on the Splyce side.
Fantastic. All right, well, this game is about to get underway. Let's hand it over once more to two of my favorite people in the entire world, Momo and TeePee.
Thank you so much, Bryce. It is match point for Splyce in this one. Can they have another dominating respawn. Exertus needs to try and bounce back after a 22-0 whomping on Uplink. Starting off here on the Exertus side. Looks like a lot of pressure coming in from Splyce, though. A pull going to be coming in quickly from Joe and company.
Well, Europeans sometimes play CTF slow. Doesn't look like it today. Joe, he's got the flag already. The flag has been pulled the other side, but it has been returned. That's huge from Hawkey as he does make a clutch kill there. Returns his home flag. However, it is not safe just yet. It looks like Bance is going for it, but he will be alone.
Yeah, I love the constant pressure from the Splyce guys. Bance, I love how he's playing this, taking his time, waiting for some of his teammates to pick up intro kills and to go down. Now it's going to be his time to try and get this flag out. Will the players from Exertus able to get it? Dave and Vortex able to answer there. There's quite a close attempt. Almost gets the flag out. Hawkey spotting a player over towards this sort of low down hop up towards tree. Nice recovery.
However, all the aggression has been from Splyce. There was one flag pull, but it was quickly closed down by the Splyce boys. I think it was Bance. And now we see more aggression here in the kitchen. Two pushing the outside trees. And again, Exertus just seem on the defense again.
So much pressure from Splyce time and time again. They're just bowling forward every single time they spawn. I love the aggression from them. Nice shot. The one burst into the head glitch from Rated. Josh able to answer back again. 2 versus 2 at the base. Players basically trapped on that plat. Rated trying to do his best, but he is shut down. But Splyce still has one player. Joe trying to flank around. Will he spot this player in the red room? Trying to get the flag out, but no. Answered back again. Exertus doing a good job, but they're continually in their base being trapped.
I like this from Bance. He's realized he's the only one here. He's slowed down. He's actually going to find himself a kill. Will be taken from... No, as he gets away, and he's going to find another in the kitchen. Will finally go down, but bided his time there just for his team to respawn. They're pushing each lane, as you see, via the minimap there. Rated does go down as Joe turns around. I think he's just making sure that that middle is clear, and there you go. The call-out will be made. Let's see if Vortex can do anything on the attack.
Yep, Vortex trying to pressure up as fast as possible. Now taking his time. I like the play. Don't want to do something, you know, a little bit too fast. Sees the shadow going into laundry. First gunfight going down and misses all of his shots. Bance slides in, uses the movement perfectly. 2 kills going for down. Desire being pursued as well. 3 again, the last player. And luckily, Dave was there for Exertus, playing a little bit of a base D. Look at the streak he's on as well. 7 for him. Streaks being earned. And the wave also. Good stuff. Trying to make this team bounce back on his shoulders.
Well, Desire 0 and 6. Dave just went on a 7 kill streak there after, you know, starting off 0 and 2. Let's go on board with Rated. He's going high. He's flying around. He finds 1. He's not going to get the kill, though. As Joe is trying to back up his teammate Bance in the enemy base, picks up 2, and he can get away with this. Doesn't, though, as Dave shuts him down. Dave is the savior of Exertus right now. He's 8 and 3, has full streaks available. And, of course, that heat wave whenever he needs it. Joe, though, just playing a bit sneaky here.
Yep, looks like Desire starting a little bit slow. Getting caught with these timings on Evac can be a problem at times. Splyce, another team push going in, but Exertus answering back. Desire able to pick up his first kill of the game. Should be taken out, but no. Joe missing some shots. Bance trying to answer back again with 2. The kinetic coming into play. Should be able to get this flag out, trying to hit this wall run, but no. Again, the savior Dave able to answer that flag and get the return as it falls off the map. Splyce with so much pressure, though. You see on the minimap time and time again, they're spreading on all 3 lanes of the map, continuing to pursue up on it, and basically without the afterburner being in, no one really has to worry about these wall runs.
It just seems to me, you know, when is it going to happen? Because Splyce will,
right?
yeah, Splyce are carrying on, putting this pressure on. For me, they have played it a little bit single file, which I don't like, but they seem very confident in their play, and Heatwave's going to take out their third. Josh has picked up 1 either side, and Hawkey, he's been spotted. If they pick up that kill, which they have, this should be a flag home. Let's see where they spawn. It's going to be on that tree side, and this is going to be the important cuts for Josh.
Yep. Would like to see him play this slow. Should be able to get at least one of these. The intro coming in from him, and the streak looks like it's going to be called in from Dave. They're waiting out the lightning. I'm not sure if he even got it off. Joe should be able to put this flag in very easily, and there's the Tempest, the last cut being held, and it was just a matter of time, right? So much aggression from Splyce. Finally, they caught those players with the specialist. Good team pushes from them. Josh and Bance taking over. Pretty similar to what we saw in the uplink, and the respawns completely in Splyce's favor.
Well, believe it or not, the first 5 minutes have nearly gone. It seems very quick, but Josh, he's not done yet. He's going for a middle push. He's seen 1. Will have to turn and take him down. 150 for that carry kill. 15 seconds. It is still doable. Vision Pulse has just been used for Vortex. This is going to be questionable. 10 seconds. Has picked up 1 and will be challenged for the second. 8 seconds go down. The flags are going to be returned. It is going to go into the half at 1-0. Good performance from Splyce, though.
same sort of issue we see from Exertus as we saw on the uplink, just not able to get past that 50-yard line on the map at all. So much pressure coming in time and time again from Splyce, so much more confidence, and it's paying off for him. I feel like they got very, very close to getting that flag out towards the kitchen side. Luckily, on the side of Exertus, Dave was there to sort of save the day. Should have some streaks from him to work with going into the second side, but their backs are against the wall. It is match point. You're down a flag in CTF. It's going to be tough for them. Splyce going to try their best to close it out to reach the grand final.
Okay, well, Splyce, they have 2 HCXDs. Exertus, they have 2 specialists, and Dave is still having that lightning strike available for him. Vortex and Dave, good start for Exertus. This is what they want. They want to put the pressure on, and Vortex, he's pushing through this kitchen. He's going low, very low, and the one player that can stop him is rated. In fact, he's going right around the back.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's taking such a wide route here. Could have popped up at the back, but decides to do it now. Trying to get behind enemy lines. Can he stay alive? No afterburner. That thrust recharge is so slow. Has some teammates to help up at the base. Looks like a stalemate situation going to happen, but Joe is alone right now. One player spawning up from Splyce over at that tree, and Desire should be able to hit the jackpot here if he can hit the timing. Has the Tempest to work with it as well. Trying to hop up, catches the first player, but has multiple to work with.
Oh no!
Flag is going out, and the team kill lightning from Dave coming in. Also, flag does get out from both sides. Bance, the furthest player up for Splyce.
Desire could have hit the jackpot
that was
then,
close.
but that lightning strike, I almost saw his hesitation. He came in, he was like, is that on me? I've got to go back. And right now, Splyce, they're on the attack. They're not settling for 1-0. They want to extend their lead, and rightfully so. You can see Bansy's going to fall, last player, and all the hopes go on Dave. Not Dave, sorry, Joe, who finally is in the back. All 3 players there, should I say, going down. And now Exertus, they have the chance to put the pressure on. The spawns are going to come in. He is going to have the help. What is going down? It looks like there is one static player. Bansy's just kind of scoping things out with a HD. But Hawkeye, literally, right behind. He only needs to win 1 gunfight.
Ooh, taken out. The kinetic was used from Hockey. I like the attempt there, but nice teamwork. The stack onto the flag from Splyce. Vision Pulse going off. Josh pursuing this flag person. Last player alive with the flag. Josh pursuing him, trying to get this return. Does spot him at the very back room. The wave coming in. Dave, the savior, again, keeping his team alive in this one. Waiting for his team to spawn up now. Very, very good use of the heat wave to make sure that return does not happen, but Splyce is kind of happy with this. They have the lead through about 3 minutes left. And it's just back and forth battle in this flag stalemate.
Well, this is a bit of an awkward situation as well. You know, that was all well and good, you know, that defensive play, but they are still 1 behind. It looks like there is Desire going for a bit of a attack. He's going to find one with a Tempest, find the second, be taken from the side, and now it's all going to be level once again. The players that are on the attack have all gone down. It's going to be reset. Josh, though, looks like he's going to be leading the attack for Splyce. Hawkeye, on the other hand, for Exertus.
Good specialist use from both sides, in my opinion, and that's what keeps leading to these sort of stalemates. These players break in as fast as they can. Looks like Josh might be able to catch a timing here. Only 1 player at the top. I see he's been spotted. Nice shots from Josh, making that player back down. Misses a few, though, and there it is. The last player going to be trapped in the back again. No heat wave going to be used this time. He's going to try and jump around and juke this player, but the flag is going to be returned. But 2 players from Exertus over there. You see those red triangles going on the flag. The kinetic whiz going to be popped by Bance. Should be able to take out the second player. Yes, he does. But Desire saving the day, getting this flag out again, being chased in the back by Joe. The wave going in and everything going to stabilize again. Josh trying to pull it out to Laundry and being trapped.
Capture the flag at its finest, you could say, right here. This is ridiculous. The amount of interactions, returns, captures, it's just going down, and it is going to level out here. The flag will be returned for both sides. It looks like it's just offset there as Bance pulls out the HCXD, but Joe, I'm staying on board with him. He is static, but he is behind enemy lines right now. There's only 1 player he needs to take down to actually get to the flag, and he has seen him. Probably going to pick up the kill as well. Will he then go forward on the flag? Shaky shots, but he does pick him up. Finds the second as well out of nowhere. And this is looking good. Both flags could be under jeopardy, though. Desire has not only picked the flag, he's made the kill.
Yeah, very good stuff. And the push from Desire and Vortex able to get the flag out. But it is Joe again trying to force this stalemate to happen. 1 more arrow from Splyce pushing up to try and help him. Joe holding this power position in the laundry, waiting for his teammates to be escorted out, and the return looks like he's going to be going in. Bance has to try and make a play. The flag does go in from Exertus, though. Bance trying to do his best to stay alive. 2 for him, trying to get this flag out as fast as possible. Nice shots going over to the player at the back. AC rated over to help. The last player has been spotted. The flag should be going out soon. 30 seconds left here on the second side. The player does go down. The overextend going to be happening from Exertus, but the car is here to scout out information.
Yep, and he's going to see him. Surely did he see him on... Did he see him on the wall run there? Vortex behind enemy lines. 1v4. Surely he can't pick it up. He's actually picked the flag up. He picks one kill up. He's on the wall and he can get away here. He's going into kitchen. Surely not. Bance, will he get the flag in 8 seconds? It's 1-1. It's 6 seconds. It needs to return, but it's not. He's running away. This is a crucial kill.
Joe trying to chase him, but only a couple seconds left here, and I don't think he's going to be able to get it. What a play. I can't believe that Exertus was able to get that flag out far enough, and it all comes down to the HC. He just did not see the player on the low wall run and gets punished for it. What a play from Exertus.
Vortex was literally 1v4. He made 1 kill, picked the flag, and he just dipped. He was out of there. He knew that he couldn't take down everyone, and eventually trades came in and push it to overtime. I think Exertus, I almost want to say lucky, but I think they played it superbly at the end there. Vortex finally picking it up, and here we go. Let's go on board with Vortex, see what he can offer.
Yeah, especially after a play like that, keeping his team in it. I can't believe it, but that's the reason you don't want to be in an HC XD at the end there. Holding a cut, could have very easily spotted out more information yourself. A couple of kills going down 2 dead early for Exertus. Vortex trying to push up the map as fast as possible, but the team push coming in from Splyce. The overextending, getting the flag out with 3 with them. The wall run coming in. Vortex trying to save the day again, but he's not able to get that streak off. Looks like Dave's trying to save the day. The heat wave coming in, going for the return, choke shots, but no, he's not able to get it. Splyce keeping the flag run alive. Very good plays. The streaks coming in from Joe, and that's the time set in overtime. Splyce clutching up.
Oh my goodness, he was inches away from returning that. That is ridiculous. I've got to say, he used the heat wave perfectly. He made the kill, but there, luckily, we get to see it again. His body just falls on the flag, and Joe, take a bow. That was beautiful.
40 seconds set by Splyce and streaks to work with. Oh, this might be it. This might be it, Momo.
We have to go with Joe. He's got a Lightning Hellstorm and a HCXD, but I know Splyce. They will push out. They will... Oh, no, I don't know Splyce. They are being defensive. The HCXD is going to pick up 1. Let's go on board with the attacking team. Hawkey needs to pick up these kills. It needs to be now or never. They don't have time to make mistakes. Desire's the only one, and all 4 go down. This could be Splyce progressing here. Desire's left.
The rage quit coming in. Looks like Splyce is going to be able to clutch it up here. Quality performance, setting the time so fast in overtime, and they're going to make it to the grand final. The 3-1 victory is clinched. All 3 respawns in dominating fashion. Great stuff from these guys. Congratulations.
I've got to say, how do you go from a 22-0 Uplink to a game like that? That is one of the my favorite CTF that I've ever watched or ever casted. But they lost Uplink 22-0. I honestly, I don't know what to say after that, except congratulations to Splyce.
What a map here. It looked like it was going to be back and forth into overtime, but Splyce just 3 pushes up to the base, pulls the flag out instantly, and sets the time too quick. Exertus couldn't really bounce back after that one. Good stuff from them. That's going to do it for this series, though. The final analysis is going to be coming in. Brycey and the boys take it over.
Thank you very much. Well, what a great game we saw, and it ended on an overtime. All right, guys, let's quickly just kind of get your impressions from the CTF and the entire series in general.
Well, that ending was heartbreaking. I mean, you saw Dave was inches away from returning that flag. Could have been a very different series. They actually clutched up at the end of the 10 minutes to make sure Splyce couldn't get a flag. I was pretty sure they were going to, but somehow that player got away. It was, again, a few seconds where it made the difference, and Joe couldn't return the flag. Overall, still, Splyce was the best team today.
Yeah, Joe clutching up huge plays from him to take that. It did look like it was going towards Splyce regardless, but, I mean, he made it very clear that they were going to take that.
He certainly did. I know you're a big fan of Joe Rell. You said it a few times, actually. Do you think, he kind of deserves a bigger reputation in Europe?
He reminds me a lot of Momo, except he's far better. That's the real difference between them. He's like a far better
So
version.
nothing like Momo then?
Pretty much. But no, I mean, there's been multiple times. I mean, I remember casting over him. It was either at World Champ qualifiers or at the World Champs itself, and it was just like when it matters the most, he makes the kill in last second. It was actually an uplink throw. Oh, I cannot remember the map that it was on, but he did it last second, and it allowed them to qualify to progress even further. And I feel he's heavily underrated, Joe, on that squad.
I called it the player to look for. Didn't disappoint. He really played that one in the end well. Saved his hit wave for the right moments. When he saw he couldn't return that flag at the very end of the 10 minutes, then kept it, and he reused one at the end to kill Dave and made sure he couldn't return that flag. That was massive.
Well, here's something that kind of we can see that not everybody else can. You know, Josh coming out of the booth and getting ready for his interview. Looked a bit stressed, a little bit kind of pushed there. Do you think that Exertus, you know, stressed the abilities of Splyce in that series? Maybe not the uplink, but everything else.
Yeah, I was going to say on the uplink, definitely not. But, I mean, on the other ones, he probably got Hardpoint was pretty one-sided as well. But the Search and Destroy obviously went towards Exertus and kept the flag the other way. But, yeah, they put up a fight where, in some respect.
Well, they certainly did. Well, let's actually catch up with Josh then. Mike, please take it away.
Thanks, Brycey. Josh, impressive performance, especially that uplink. But let's start off with the start of the game. You guys obviously took a lead and then obviously lost an S&D. What was going through your head when you went into the uplink?
I mean, we knew that we was like, it's like one of our best maps. We've beat them a load of times before and it beat us once on it and knock on line. So we was confident, but I didn't expect it to be like that. Obviously, that was something else.
Was that a major confidence boost for you guys going into the CTF?
I mean, yeah, but we was confident either way. Like, we kind of destroyed them on first respawn, and when doing it again, it was just like a big confidence boost, I suppose, yeah.
The CTF was quite a cagey affair. Do you guys plan to kind of slow the game down? Was that your tactic, or did it just work out like that?
I mean, we know what they're like. We know they love their wall runs, so like we just disregarded them and just went all aggressive as a team, and literally was like in their base 9 times out of 10. So,
what was your thought process going into the overtime?
I mean, obviously, like we should have won it in normal time. Like Steve made a big play to get the flag away, but we just like obviously forget about it. Nothing we can do, and then we'll find out what happened and make sure it doesn't happen again next time.
During the pick and bans, were you trying to target any of their players specifically?
I mean, we've played them loads online, and we knew exactly what it was going to do, so we made sure we had a plan, and I think it worked pretty well, to be honest. Yeah.
Does it feel good beating teammates that you used to? Well, sorry, beating people that used to be your teammates?
I mean, obviously, it's something to have. Like, just beating them is a big thing, but they're all good players. Like I said before in my last interview, and played with them in season 1. We finished second, so props to them. Though, good games.
Excellent, and I assume you're extra confident for the final. Who do you want to face?
I mean, I'd love to play hyper games to be honest, yeah, but I don't even know. This is another series where it's like 50-50. I think I can't even say. I don't even know. I don't really mind to be honest, yeah.
Finally, who was the Splyce man of the match for you guys during that game?
Probably Bance, little god.
Excellent, thanks very much. Congratulations. Going back to the analyst desk with Brycey, who's going to talk through those last 4 maps.
Well, Bance, the little god. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, he definitely played that series very well. He's played so well throughout the entire season. You were mentioning the fact that Josh kept him with him, even though he changed his roster at the end of season 1, and it clearly shows why he's always delivering the numbers, and great skill coming from him all the time.
He has so many interactions. I mean, we always say he's a heavy slayer, and sure, along with that comes a lot of deaths, but he's always right in the thick of the fight, and usually comes out up top.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, let's kind of quickly recap our entire way through this then. Hardpoint, first of all. Jonas, what did you think?
Well, very surprisingly, I was expecting Exertus to come in this one very hard, to have a lot of aggression, but that really didn't happen. We saw the Splyce player just coming on another level, completely dominating the game. I mean, I literally couldn't believe how much they were dominating, and Exertus, they just didn't seem to be able to put much of a fight, whether it was from an individual perspective, from holding the spawns to making the rotations. I think it's a case of Splyce playing well, but at the same time, Exertus were having an awful game.
All right, Rel?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It was a large difference in the end. The score really said it all. A bit different as we went on to the later maps, but the hard point was just very one-sided.
All right, well, let's move on to those later maps then. Let's talk now about the Search and Destroy. And how did you thought that one go, Rel?
Well, I mean, obviously Exertus took it 6-4 in the end, and standout plays from Desire. We saw him clutch up. He went double positive, 10-5 was the final scoreline, and to hit double figures in Search and Destroy is an achievement within itself.
Yeah, and some very unusual plays as well from the Exertus lineup. It was good to see them kind of like innovating in the way they play and try to surprise the Sply lineup, especially that push through Broken on the first round in attacking. I mean, yeah, they did really well. Props to Desire. I've said he's impressed me a lot this weekend, and he's had a good game, even though they probably feel disappointing from losing. There's a lot of good to take for them.
Well, one of the things, obviously, we were talking about earlier is the fact that we pretty much got the two first maps the wrong way around. You know, Exertus, they're the hardpoint specialists, and then we thought Splyce would take the S&D. Didn't happen that way. But the next map, that was certainly a shock. 22-0. Rel, I mean, that was just a beating.
Yeah, it's very, very unusual to see that. I mean, even if it's going to be an absolute hammering by one team, you at least see the opposition putting some score on the scoreboard, even if it's just because the winning team has overextended itself and they've got a bit too carried away, and then there's a bit of a counter cap or something. But there was nothing. There was literally nothing from Exertus there, and I think it got to the point where, even though they did play it through and fair play to them, great sportsmanship, it just seemed like they gave up towards the end because they knew it was over.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on that map. I think we covered enough when we went over it last time. And that brings us on to the CTF. Very close again between these two teams. An overtime and an inch, let's be perfectly honest, from a return, which could have resulted in a different result.
Well, once again, I think this is one of the maps where it doesn't really reflect to the real game, and it didn't really need to go to overtime. I think Splyce were actually really dominating that map. They had the map control. We saw them for almost 4 minutes during the first half. They were constantly almost ready to pull, and every time Dave would be the savior on the flag, every time those Exertus player would clutch up, even towards the end, Splyce get the first flag, then somehow Exertus manages to get a counter cap and somehow managed to get that flag away in the last seconds. But really, they played really bad on the other maps. But this one, they got a bit lucky they went that far, because in my opinion, Splyce was just a much better team.
All right, one last question, and it's a biggie. Who do you think Splyce match up better against, Hyper Games or Millennium?
Oh, I mean, I feel like Splyce have got the better shot against Hyper Games. That's going to be the choice, but they're known as the Silver Surfers recently. That's where the difficulty is.
I think if they play Hyper Games, that should be an easy win for them. If they play Millennium, it's going to be a very close one. I think both teams have been playing extremely well. Very impressed by both of them this weekend.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, as you've heard, Hyper Games going up against Millennium. These two teams really want to prove something here at this event. Let's find out right after this.